For people with disabilities, personal assistance or aids can be critical at home, on the job, wherever. Last year, the state changed the way it hires and pays those assistants. And as with many changes in state government, it's been a bumpy road. Making improvements is one of the top items on the disability agenda in Albany. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management at UBS Wealth Management USA, subsidiary UBS AG, member FINRA SIPC, 1 Broad Street, Glens Falls.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, January 15th. First up, Governor Kathy Hochul is pushing back on the Trump administration's threat to withhold money from sanctuary jurisdictions like New York City. Jimmy Vielkind reports for the New York Public News Network.
President Trump says he will cut off money on February 1st. Governor Hochul says the state cooperates with immigration officials. She said New Yorkers won't be intimidated.
So I say this, you touch any more money from the state of New York, we'll see you in court.
Republicans say the city should change its policies. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman says the onus is on Mayor Mamdani.
The problem is not with President Trump. The problem is with the mayor and the city council. You want to be a sanctuary city? You want to violate federal law? There are consequences.
Mamdani says city laws aren't bargaining chips. In Albany, I'm Jimmy Vielkind for the New York Public News Network.
Work on the major wind farm in the waters off Long Island is back on. A federal judge has ruled construction at Empire Wind can resume. Governor Hochul praised the ruling as a rebuke to the Trump administration's efforts to kill the project.
They were stopped under the bogus pretense of national security. When I heard this, I said one thing. I'm the governor of New York. If there is a national security threat off the coast of New York, you need to tell me what it is. I want a briefing right now. Well, lo and behold, they had no answer.
From Long Island, the New York Public News Network's Desiree Diorio has the backstory.
President Trump has been trying since his second inauguration to put the brakes on offshore wind power projects. Developer Equinor has said in court documents that the Trump administration's stop work order on Empire Wind will cause irreparable harm if it continues. On Thursday, the judge agreed. Equinor says in a statement it'll focus on restarting work. It's the second win for large-scale wind projects this week. A different federal judge ruled Monday that Revolution Wind off Connecticut can also resume work, while the legal wrangling over the stop work order plays out. On Long Island, I'm Desiree Diorio for the New York Public News Network.
2 events this month in Lake Placid will honor the 1980 Olympic hockey team that won gold at the Winter Games. The first is happening tonight at the Olympic Arena. Emily Russell has the details.
Tonight's event is called Run Back the Miracle. It's described as immersive and high-tech. It'll be held at the Olympic Arena in Lake Placid. That's where the 1980 team defied the odds and defeated the Soviets in a game that's now known as the Miracle on Ice.
This may be the greatest win in the history of American sports.
This is from a promo video for the event, which will use holograms and on-ice projections to recreate key moments from the 1980 game. A few of the players will also be there, including goalie Jim Craig and Mark Johnson, who scored 2 of the 4 goals against the Soviets. Doors open tonight at 6, and the event begins at 7:30. Then a few weeks later, on Saturday, January 31st, a 6-foot statue of Coach Herb Brooks will be unveiled by his 2 children outside the Olympic Museum. Jack O'Callahan from the 1980 team will also speak at the event, which begins at 6. Emily Russell, North Country Public Radio.
As this year's session of the New York State Legislature gets underway, people with disabilities and their advocates are hoping for more progress on several key policy initiatives, things like more inclusive housing and higher wages for support professionals. Samuel King with the New York Public News Network reports.
Amid the bustle of the opening day of this year's legislative session at the Capitol, a group of advocates from New York Adapt and Caring Majority held a small rally on the concourse of Empire State Plaza. In a wheelchair and wearing a headset microphone, Gina Barbara with Downstate New York Adapt led the group off.
And we must continue to fight the fight. Our homes, not nursing homes. Our homes, not nursing homes. Our homes.
Roberts says housing is among their top priorities.
Governor Hochul has made it blatantly clear since last State of the State that she was going to be pushing for affordable housing. However, affordable housing not accessible is of no help to the disability community.
Advocates also have concerns about changes to the Consumer-Directed Personal Assistance Program, or CDPAP, which lets patients hire their own personal assistants. Last year, the state changed the system from hundreds of nonprofits and companies operating the program to having one single statewide operator, Public Partnerships, LLC. But advocates say there are still issues with the transition.
We need to save CDPAP.
Angela Harmer of Rensselaer County was also at the rally. She says she relies on the program.
I can hire and fire my own people. I train them. I teach them how to help me. I do everything. I'm in control.
Assemblymember Angelo Santabarbara of Schenectady County chairs the Assembly's Committee on People with Disabilities. He says some lawmakers are already seeking changes.
And I've heard from advocates, I've heard from families, I've heard about real problems with the transition. We need to make sure people are not going without during this transition. We need to make sure we're doing what we need to do to make sure that any transition doesn't disrupt services.
Santabarbara says he's also supportive of advocates' push for a 2.7% increase in state funding for the direct services support system.
The most important thing we can do is invest in our direct care system.
Michael Searider is president and CEO of the New York Alliance for Inclusion and Innovation. He says the direct care sector has only recently started to reduce turnover among staff.
A significant increase in resources a couple of years ago now has made a significant improvement in what was a widely unsustainable situation. It has made a significant improvement in that, and we need to make sure that we don't lose any more ground with regard to the system in which we're operating.
But Searider says it's more than just money. His group is seeking policy solutions on housing that would prioritize essential workers like home health aides.
Ensuring that they can access stable, affordable homes near their workplaces, strengthening both the workforce and the communities that they serve in.
Other organizations are seeking ways to continue helping connect people with disabilities to jobs.
State individuals with disabilities are unemployed at a rate of 64%. So there's still a ton of work to be done.
Maureen O'Brien is president of New York State Industries for the Disabled, or NYSID. She says the organization hopes to work with lawmakers to streamline regulations and help them serve more people.
We need to work really closely with the state to grow what NYSID does and to help the social enterprises we work with secure more business and create more jobs.
Back at the rally, the advocates say they are no strangers to the Capitol, and they will ensure their voices will be heard during this election year.
And that's what this legislature needs to understand. Enough stalling. People's lives are on the line. We're not political pawns here. We're regular people that deserve a chance at life.
Governor Kathy Hochul is set to present her executive budget proposal on January 20th. In Albany, I'm Samuel King for the New York Public News Network.
We have more news all the time at ncpr.org. Music today by Eddie Lawrence of Saranac Lake and Rockberry of Watertown. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.